So it is 7:32 p.m. And I know that it is June the 4th and it is a beautiful, beautiful day outside. So I'm not sure how many people we're going to have on tonight, but let's get started. So welcome everyone to the June edition of Coffee with the President and the Board. And, let's go around and see who's actually here with us. Doesn't look like a whole lot of people, but, so my name is Lynn Heights. I'm president of the NFB of PA. And do we have David Goldstein?
I am here. Good evening, everyone.
And do we have Harriet Go? No. Okay, so Jason Polanski, are you here?
Yes, I'm here after an interesting meeting with QuickBooks and learning about the bank account and getting everything figured out with this treasurer stuff. But
Yeah.
yes,
So
actually outside around my pond, it's pretty nice. But
there you go. Jason is our new acting treasurer for the NFB of Pennsylvania. So let's go through the members of the board of directors. So do we have Denise Brown?
I'm here.
Awesome. Welcome, Denise. And Kirk Hunger?
Yes, you do.
I do. And
And
Stacey
Eileen's with us.
and Eileen too. Okay. Welcome, Eileen.
Thank you.
And do we have Stacy Leap? She was here.
Yeah, I was going to say she was here, but maybe she was the one I heard drop off.
Okay. I don't think we will have Michelle McManus. She is away on a business trip. She may log in. Do we have Connie Shu? Okay. So for divisions, do we have Pam Bequero? Oh, who just popped in? Hello. Okay, we don't have Pam. Do we have Christine Palmer? Or Simon Bonifant? Okay, David, we're batting 1,000 tonight. Is Brian Mackey here? Brian's the president of our Greater Berks chapter. Okay. Well, so welcome everybody on this beautiful, beautiful June the 4th. I want to start out by asking David to kind of talk about, David was at our National Center this weekend attending a seminar. And so, David, can you share a bit about the seminar with us?
Sure. Sorry. I was down there for the IEP Advocacy Academy, which the national organization got a grant to do 2 different cohorts. They did one last year and they did one this year. And basically we went over all of the different ways to help a student out, whether it is with they've already had an IEP at their next meeting to strengthen it. And the bottom line was we learned we're not on the parent side, we're not on the school district side, we're on the kid's side, and that's the one that we want to make sure is the one who takes care, gets taken care of. And it was a lot of information. We got down there Thursday, started Thursday night after dinner, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and on Saturday at not the very end of the day, but the end of the afternoon session, we did 4 different mock IEP meetings, and some of the folks from National played a student's parents, some of them played the school district, and John Perret was involved, and Stephanie from communications was involved, Jesse and Melissa Riccobono, and no, I'm forgetting Leah and Lauren and Dewey were both involved in, and they played. It was a different scenario with each group. There was always a parent and a school district person in there, and sometimes the school district person was very praising of the kid, but they weren't giving giving him anything, and sometimes they were, no, they're not going to get anything. Millie was one. John Perret played the kid's dad, and Millie played a lawyer for the school district, and she was awesome. And so that was a good one. It was just very interesting how everything was so different, and different ways, different tactics you could use to try and help a student get the different services that they need. Braille being, of course, the most common thread with all of them, because if a blind kid doesn't know Braille, how are they they're not gonna learn to read. So that was the bottom line. But it was a lot of information, and I think there were 15 of us, 14 of us, I don't remember, 14, I think, that was there, all from all over the place, all over the country.
Thank you, David. Does anybody have any questions for David? Awesome. Okay. So we've got a lot of things coming up. Next Tuesday is the second quarterly board meeting for the State Board of Vocational Rehabilitation. The meeting's taking place in Harrisburg at the Patan office. I do believe in my email, I have a Zoom link to join, and I will be sending that out. And I'm hoping that Stacy can put it on the calendar as well, but that's on our website. You know, if you can join this meeting, it would be really great. If you have comments to make about blindness and visual services, and you know, maybe you have a good comment, maybe you have a not so good comment, all comments are welcome. There is a time for public comment. In fact, there's actually a couple times during the meeting when there is public comment. So I want to strongly encourage you to participate in these meetings. The only way that we're going to get things changed with the agency is by being there and, you know, showing up and making our voices heard. They hear me every quarter at the OBR board meeting. They hear me at the Rehab Council, full council meetings. You know, but I'm one voice. And you know, after a while, you get to hear one voice and you suddenly start to tune it out. So it would be really good for them to hear from, you know, anybody who has a case with the Bureau of Blindness and Visual Services who's experiencing any kind of issues. So we will send that information out.
Lynn, somebody said they had a question. I didn't hear who it was, though.
Oh, someone has a question. I'm not sure who.
It's Passel.
Oh, yep, Passel.
Can we bring up the BEP program to them?
Oh, yeah, we are going to bring
Okay.
EP program up. In fact, I was hoping that Pam would be on
Okay.
tonight, because at our last OVR board meeting, we had a very sad presentation done by the person who's actually running the BEP program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that my 5th grade grandson could have done a better job. And this gentleman brought up the point that, well, I've heard of 8 individuals who are interested in the program. Well, okay, 8 individuals. Do they have cases open? Have
No.
have they started through the training that they need to have before they actually start the BEP training? Probably not.
Mhm.
You know, Wes Reynolds is the gentleman who runs the BEP program, and he says, well, we're going to have the training center up and running by December. Well, that's all well and good, but if these people have not had these preliminary assessments and gotten the training they need, they're not going to be ready to start this program in December. And I guess my other question is, well, December of what year? Since as David so eloquently points out, at every meeting that he's at, it's been 5 years since anything's really happened with the business enterprise program.
Oh, it's not, they're not, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, who is that? So does anybody have any questions or concerns about the business enterprise program?
This is Jan.
Jan?
So I'm, really out of the loop in so very many ways. But is it true then that there are no new people coming into the program right now? And
Correct.
there haven't been in a while?
5 years, over 5 years.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
They're down to 18
I mean,
vendors.
did COVID start the problem and then it just never got fixed? Or
Yes.
And Jan, it is now 2025.
Yeah.
And we need to stop blaming this issue on COVID.
Of course.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you understand that.
Right.
And they keep pushing it back to COVID. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not even, I can sort of see how that would have been a temporary, but only a temporary problem. Unless it was already on the skids for that.
Well, I don't really think it was. They had a really awesome training center that they had put together there in Harrisburg so people could do some of the trainings and then actually put into practice what they were learning. And so it seemed to be doing really well. They have
So what happened to the center?
So I'm not totally sure, but it got closed down. That it was at the Keystone building in Harrisburg. And the person who was running it left. They're looking at potentially having a training center up at the Hiram G. Andrews Center, which, I have my own opinions about that. They're not very good.
So do I.
Ugh, that's all I'll say about that one.
Mm-hmm.
I had to. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
No, it's okay.
Kirk.
Yes, Kirk.
Yeah, that center, when I was there, taught me nothing. As a matter of fact, within the first week, the person that was supposed to be teaching me bookkeeping and taxes retired. And I was given a CD and told to listen to it. The guy that was running the program was going on hunting excursions to Canada more than he was teaching. And when they brought somebody in to take his place, they couldn't add or subtract either. Honest to goodness gracious. In kitchen math, it was dismal. So then they made the one at the Keystone And after COVID, they decided, or I don't know if they did, but whoever was running the program, I forget the name of the company, but decided they didn't want to do it anymore. We've suggested that the best person to train something is the people that are doing it. And then have them do their testing and stuff with what's that, Hadley School, because that's what they were doing, like for a number of the stuff for the at the Keystone, and it was working out great. I'll be honest with you. In my eyes, I see that they're widowing it down to the point where it's not sustainable, and then they're going to end it.
Okay.
That's what I've seen ever since I've been in. Because
Okay.
every time they have a new regime in
They're
there,
gonna send a
they're
Zoom
worse
link.
than the last one.
Hey, Robert. Send a Zoom link
Now,
Tuesday.
no matter what you
There's a
do
meeting with our client
in life,
state
you're always
agency
going to have
that one that I'll be able to
things that come up
join.
against where,
That is-
you know,
that is
and what you're
really cool,
doing
man.
and stuff like that.
That-
I still
that-
think
I'm not gonna have any
the
comments,
BEP
but
is the
just
best
to show the flag,
way
be
to
able join it.
have an income and have your own business,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of positive things there. You have a lot of people that are in the business that will help you, that will guide you, and you can't get what you working for somebody else what you can get working for yourself. I've owned business outside the business, but BEP, and you know, I had the same problems, just a different way, you know.
Mhm.
But so in any case, that's, you know, I insist that we have to get the SLA to move on and quit dragging their feet and prolonging us growing, because there's a lot of people that are going to be retiring soon, and that's going to make a lot less. There's a lot of people going to be retiring. They're in their 70s.
Oh, they'll be signing up for very good. No shit.
Kirk, hold
So
on.
if anyone wants to get in business for themselves, I would say this is the best thing to do it. We just got to push them to make things happen.
Do you like duck sauce and mustard?
Can somebody mute
Nah,
themselves or something so we don't have that background noise?
I think you could play.
Yeah, tell them I don't want any mustard.
I'm trying. It's somebody with a J, and there's like 4 people on that have a J as their
Not
name.
me, I
So
promise.
yeah, no, I knew it wasn't you. I think I got it.
Thank you, David.
So how many people are actively in the BEP right now?
Right now, there's 18.
However, we were also told that there are sites along the turnpike that are, I believe they said, Lynn, grab and goes, and they are manned by sighted people. So there
Yes, they are.
there are other contracts available out there for people who are trained in BEP, if they could just get it in gear.
Exactly.
So now they have they have sighted people running these stops. So like, you know, when you go along Route 80 and you stop and there's all those vending machines in where the restrooms are, those are all BEP stands that are currently being served by sighted individuals. Okay.
Ridiculous.
And they're supposed to be served by blind individuals. And there's an awful lot of them along Route 80, besides other interstates in Pennsylvania.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And there is a lot of locations, not only federal locations, but state locations also that are being run by third party. I mean, you could have 1,000 people in this program and everyone would have a location, and there'd still be locations that are available. And it's just a matter of fighting the bureaucracy. What's causing it? The bureaucracy and thing, but you know, we have to hold in there. We have got to push them, and whatever we need to do to get them off their butts and start doing something instead of getting a paycheck and doing nothing.
I think Ryan Hyde needs to have a separate part of his report that he addresses the progress of BEP at every presentation, these state board meetings and at Park. And if he doesn't address it, we need to bring it up.
That was one of the
I
things
agree.
that he had said to Lynn and I at the last, whatever that meeting was at the Sheridan a few weeks ago, where he said, well, he deflected that it wasn't open, saying that, oh, it's in trouble nationally. That doesn't matter if it's in trouble nationally, that they're not helping things by not getting people back into the system so that they can open it. Let them tell you that they're having trouble making it, and then come up with something else, some other type of business that the folks could get involved in so that they can make it a going concern.
Well, I happen to go out on YouTube. I'm a big, how to do things on YouTube. And I pulled up something on BEP, and it was either Tennessee or Kentucky. And in that YouTube, they had 44 in their program. And both of those states are a whole lot smaller than Pennsylvania.
Right.
So it didn't look like it was fledgling.
Well,
Kirk.
doesn't RSA fund OVR for this? Isn't OVR responsible?
So the problem is that OVR is responsible, but Governor Ridge allowed BVS to be pulled under OVR.
Right.
And the money that comes from RSA and the state match to that money is one lump sum that is
Correct.
given to OVR. It's not split between BVS and BVRS because we're a combined, quote, combined agency now. And the money that comes through VR, okay, according to the law that pulled BVS under OVR, 15% of that money is supposed to go to support blind individuals seeking employment.
Correct.
And out of that 15% is where they're supposed to get the money for BEP. But you see, OVR doesn't want to really share a lot of numbers about where the money goes because BBVS is probably not getting the 15% that it's supposed to get. And in fact, when members of this organization a few years ago were working on a commission bill and Ryan Hyde got word of it, he actually said, we won't be able to survive if BVS is separate and takes their money away. So that's a clear indication that, money that's supposed to go for our population's services is not happening.
So how do we rectify the problem?
We create a commission and we pull BVS money away from OVR. And then blind individuals get to get the services that they need to become employed.
What's the chances of that happening?
Under this governor, You know, I mean, we have to identify a champion. I mean, we have sample legislation. We need to find a state representative who's willing to champion such an effort. And, you know, a lot of people are going to be up in arms if we do this. You know, the PABs, the associations for the blind aren't going to like it. There's a lot of people that aren't going to like it.
But it's the right thing to do.
I am not an expert, but certainly Representative Genst, who is my representative, is quite progressive. I think Governor Shapiro is pretty progressive too. I don't know how he'd feel about a commission. Could be that Representative Genst would be, or would this need to start in the House or the Senate? Do you know? Everything starts in the House and then goes to the Senate, I guess. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So we'd have to start with our representatives.
The thing is, we need to,
I would say mine is. Yeah. Go ahead.
we need to find a champion. You know, who, I hate to say move it back under the Department of Human Services, but you know, we did really well when we were there. So I don't know. So we need, you know, depending on where we want it to go, that's sort of where we need to find the champion, because that's also the committee it would go to.
Okay.
And of course, it would always be helpful to have it be bipartisan.
So do you want us individually to look out for somebody? The champion?
We could do that.
And then bring it back to you, Lynn?
Yeah, we would need to create a committee within this organization, you know, who's going to work on it. I mean, myself and Joe Drenth and Fred Schroeder did some extensive work on this legislation a few years back.
So you need to get somebody who can put it forward, and then maybe some of our other representatives can co-sponsor or at least support it.
Right.
You need it to be somebody who's got some real clout in this area.
Right. We also need it, and you know what? It's not even just finding the representative that has the clout. It's also taking the time out of our busy schedules to spend the time in Harrisburg to meet with people and share the draft legislation and talk to them about why this needs to happen. You know, BEP is I mean, that's a significant thing. I mean, we're talking about employment. We're talking about paying taxes back into the system. So, you know, I mean, it can't just be a 2 or 3 person effort. I mean, we've got to have a group of people, you know, that are willing to take the time to go to Harrisburg, to make the phone calls, to put the folders of information together, and, you know, all that kind of stuff, to do some of the research on, you know, what other states that have commissions, what their success rate is, because it's a lot bigger. Their success rate's a lot better than what we have here. And to some degree, they can't actually let BEP die they have to keep it in some format because it is mandated by the federal government under the Randolph-Shepard Act.
Right.
So even if it's like limping along with 18 vendors right now, technically they have a program. So, you know, we have to get a few people together that are committed and can put the time in, because it is time consuming. I was one of the people who worked on the legislation to get the Newsline funding for Pennsylvania. And I spent a lot of hours in Harrisburg and a lot of hours on the phone following up with this one and that one and the next one. And it's what you have to do. So, any more comments about the Business Enterprise Program or BBVS? Okay. So I'm gonna call on David again. So David, isn't there something exciting on the web now?
There is. Our new website has launched. I think it launched yesterday or day before. It brings us in line with the rest of the NFB affiliates. We were one of the last 3 affiliates, and I think there's still one division that had yet to come under that umbrella of similar sites. There were a couple of different choices. So the look and the feel of most of them are the same. If you go to the NFB of New York site or the NFB of Nevada site, it's going to look very similar to ours. And as we move forward, we don't have all of our pictures up there yet. There are some that are there, and there are plenty more coming. But as time moves on, we have a meeting on Friday to talk about a few things. For example, one of the issues that we have, I love to do the branded shortened links. So for this event, Coffee with the President, it was nfbofpa.org/coffeezoom. That doesn't work now. Jigsaw Zoom doesn't work. So I'm glad in Federation Focus, I put the entire Zoom link, not the shortened link. So we're going to have to figure out a way how to do that. And there's a few other things that we're going to have to do. Hopefully by the time we get to New Orleans, we will have figured out how to have the registration for the state convention up and running. That's our goal, to have that up by July 1st. It's going to be tough, I think, but we're up for the challenge. And like I said, we have a meeting on Friday with Stephanie Casconi and some other folks from communications, as well as the developers that the national organization has hired to do the site. But it will be a lot better for us moving forward, because right now we pay for MailChimp. Once we move forward, we're going to be using something called Civi, which is what the national organization uses for their direct mail, their email pieces. We'll be able to have folks be able to go in when Lynn wants to know, oh, is so-and-so on our in our database. She won't have to ask Stacy to say, hey, Stacy, could you check to see if so-and-so is in there? We've got to change their address. Lynn will be able to go in there and do that. And it will be unlike before when we were able to do that, going back a few years, it will be secure and not where anybody else can get in. So all of that's going to be really good stuff. We'll be able to have links to any YouTube videos we put up, the podcast, all that sort of stuff. So I'm excited for it. And so you can go take a look at it now. And again, the images are going to change. There's a great image in the header. It's of Marva and her sister and Denise wearing their Greater Philly red T-shirts. And they're right at the top and smiling, and the word welcome to the National Federation of the Blind of Pennsylvania, blah, 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 whatever else that says. Just a great looking image up top there. And we'll have more of those in there as we move forward, as they kind of give us the keys. We had to stop entering new stuff a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to go in at least and make some small changes just to see how it works. So when we had our weekly meetings, I would know kind of what to do. And I don't know what to do completely by far at this point, but we're getting there. And as each week goes by, we'll learn more. There's going to be a training, and it's going to be a great looking site.
Any questions for David about the new site? Okay. Did Michelle McManus log on? Okay. Well, then I guess I get to do this. So last Friday, well, actually a few months ago, I talked with Michelle McManus about having a senior possibilities fair in State College. And so she did some work, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I want to have her talk about it at state convention, which is one reason why you should come. Anyhow, we had the possibilities fair at a senior center in State College, and we had 45 individuals attend. It was really, really awesome. Michelle spoke a lot about things that were happening in State College for individuals who are blind or low vision. I gave a brief overview of the state affiliate. Jim Antonacci was with us via Zoom doing a talk about NFB Newsline and doing a presentation, did some live stuff with Newsline to get people to see what it was actually like. We had representation from the Altoona District Office of the Bureau of Blindness and Visual Services, who did a presentation about the Independent Living Older Blind program. We put together some bags similar to what we do for the Possibilities Fair when we have it in state convention. And then we also had a bunch of show and tell items, which was really pretty cool. People were very interested in that. I have spoken with Kirk, and I want to plan on doing one of these events in the Allentown area, possibly in September sometime. And I'm also looking at potentially doing one in Philadelphia. I understand, Denise Brown, that there's a member of your chapter that's opening a new venue this weekend. Is Denise still here?
That's true.
Could you share something about that?
Well, I haven't been to the grand opening yet, but Colleen Stevens is opening her own business. It's sort of an event center. I don't know how large it is. Maybe 50 to 75 people, depending on how the room is set up. But she wants to possibly use it for different organizations that may have outings that they want to have or meetings. I mean, we'll find out more information on Friday as to, how she'll be using that facility and what the different prices will be and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So I think it would be really exciting to, have a possibilities fair in Philadelphia. And I think it's even more exciting to be able to support one of our own members in their business. So we'll kind of keep you posted about that. David spoke a little bit about the state convention in November. We do hope to have the registration live by July 1, but we'll play that by ear. If it's not by July 1, as long as it's like right after National Convention, I'll be very happy. Let's see. Oh yeah, National Convention. July 8th to July 13th. I understand there are not many rooms, if any, left at the Marriott. However, there are still some rooms left at the Sheraton. If you have not made your reservation and you want to go, please do so. Unfortunately, the online registration and purchase of banquet tickets closed as of Saturday evening. So you will need to register and purchase your banquet ticket on site at the Marriott. We are proud to have 4 national scholarship finalists in our affiliate this year. There have been several years that we've had 2 finalists, but that I remember, have never had 4. So it is very exciting. 2 of the individuals are from the Pittsburgh area. One is from Lebanon County, and one is from Philadelphia. So we're looking forward to meeting them at our caucus at National Convention. Also, David secured 100 bags of Asher's chocolate covered pretzels for us to sell at the exhibit hall. There will be some milk chocolate, some dark chocolate, and a few white chocolate. We're going to sell them for $20 a piece. They're approximately a pound, give or take. We're also going to have some containers of Johnson's popcorn. Anybody who lives on the eastern part of Pennsylvania who goes to the Jersey Shore, might know Johnson's popcorn from the boardwalk. It's really, really awesome. Very, very yummy. So come and visit our table at the exhibit hall. And if you'd like to help sell some of these items,
yummy, yummy in your tummy.
yeah. Come, if you want to help sell some of these items, please let David Goldstein know. He's going to be putting a schedule together for the exhibit hall, which will be at the Sheraton Hotel. It will not be at the Marriott. It'll be across the street at the Sheraton. So, wow. The NFB of Pennsylvania will be meeting during the National Convention. We're looking at possibly July 10th at 5:00 p.m. So if you're coming to National Convention, November the 10th, I'm sorry, July the 10th, not November the 10th, July the 10th at 5 p.m. I do not have a room yet, but it'll be very important for you to come to the board meeting, which will be that morning, because David Goldstein will be making an announcement about the caucus meeting. So, and he'll be able to tell you where and what the room number is and all that kind of good stuff. So do we have any chapters that are doing anything exciting that they'd like to share?
Denise? Well, right now, the Greater Philadelphia chapter is having their Double Good fundraiser, popcorn fundraiser. It started yesterday at 5 p.m. and it'll be going until Saturday at 5 p.m. So if anyone is interested in purchasing any popcorn, get in touch with someone in the Greater Philadelphia chapter who has opened a store. I like to say that last week we had a very successful Atlantic City fundraising trip. Went very well. Everyone had a great time. Usually we only do 1 trip a year, but now we're doing 2 at the request of some of the people who have come with us. And I do know at the Greater Philadelphia chapter meeting on June 28th, after the meeting, the Greater Philadelphia chapter and the Keystone chapter will be having a brunch. So I think that's what we're doing.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Denise. Anybody else?
Lehigh Valley.
Lehigh Valley?
Yeah. October 10th, we are going to have our Dancing in the Dark, Dancing in the Light fundraiser. It will be held at the Northampton County Country Club, a really schwanky place. This year, it's going to be bigger than ever. And we would like to see as many people come as possible so that, because it's all, what it is about us, okay, and supporting the NFB. It promises to be a very exciting night, even more exciting than last year. And last year was amazing. It was amazing. We had just awesome food, awesome music, awesome dancing. A lot of people won bids on things that were up for bid. It was a night to remember. This year is going to be topping that night. So if you would like to come, then give me a call or send me an email. You can send it to kirkhunger1@gmail.com. And we will get you the right information and to the right person to get you all set up. And y'all get special rates. So come and have fun. That's all I can say. It's a great night. Thank you.
Having been there, it is a great night. Thank you, Kirk. Anybody else? So I do want to mention that our state affiliate is doing our scholarship raffle. All the chapters have their tickets. Some divisions have gotten tickets. So this is the way the raffle works. Each ticket has a 3-digit number on it. And number is for the entire month of October. The tickets are $5. If your number that's on your ticket, just the way it's shown on your ticket, is pulled between Sunday and Friday, you get $50. If your number is pulled on a Saturday, you get $100. Now that's a pretty good return on a $5 ticket. And there have been times that the same number has come out twice in the same month. So if that happens, you get paid twice. So if you're interested in any raffle tickets, please email David at vp1@nfbofpa.org and let him know. And we can, work out the tickets and work out the payments and, go from there. But this fundraiser supports our state scholarship fund. So, we want to increase the amount of money that we're given to our scholarship awardees or scholarship finalists, because unfortunately the cost of college doesn't ever go down, and the state agency is, reducing some of its support. So, again, if you want any tickets, either to purchase yourself or to sell, contact David at vp1@nfbofpa.org. So do we have anything else tonight for the good of the affiliate?
I do want to mention two things, Lynn, and the numbers have to come up in the nighttime drawing. If they come up during the day, I had a number in Maryland that came up during the day. I got nothing for it. So it has to come up at night in the order that it is written on your ticket. The other thing I wanted to mention, Lynn, was it looks 95% sure that the Mid-Atlantic Student Seminar will be taking place in Philadelphia from August 1st to August 3rd. Anil is going through the contract, but I don't see there being any issues. It looks like it's going to move forward. We'll know by the end of this week. So if you are a student or know students, that is something that you may want to attend or tell them about it so they can attend. We'll have more information about that once all the contracts are signed and everything else. But again, August 1st through the 3rd.
Awesome. One other thing I want to mention is we have a fair amount of individuals who may be attending this national convention for the very first time. And a few years back, we had a Zoom call for individuals who were attending the national convention and maybe had some questions or wanted to gather some information. So I will be shortly receiving a list of people who have already pre-registered for national convention. Once I get that, I will set up the Zoom meeting. It'll probably be a Wednesday evening. And, we can all get together and, see what kind of questions we can answer. I will be inviting the 4 scholarship finalists to attend that meeting as well. If you're planning on attending the convention and you have not registered yet, you can send me an email at president@nfbofpa.org, and I will make sure that your email address is added to the list for that Zoom call. Do we have anything else going on? Is there anything going on in Keystone?
Kat, you want to take it? You want me to talk?
I was going to toss it over to you because I wasn't at the board meeting, so I can't speak.
Okay, the one thing that Keystone has done since the end of April, we had a fundraiser at the Landmark Americana on 3333 Market Street that was, I would say, pretty successful. We raised at that evening on food purchases alone just under $400, $378 or something like that. But additionally, we got all sorts of donations from folks who weren't able to attend but wanted to help out. So our total was just short of $800 for that fundraiser. Again, Landmark Americana over there on Market is a great place to go. We usually go there after our meetings each month. And it was a pretty successful thing because not only do the food purchases count, but adult beverages count as well. As long as the item, whether it's adult beverage or food, wasn't on some sort of special pricing, we got 25% of that purchase price. So that was a nice fundraiser that we did. It came together pretty quickly within a few weeks. And I know there's other restaurants that do it in the state. I saw the other day that Iron Hill does it. I don't think they include adult beverages or beer, but there are restaurants. So if you're interested in your area of the state, take a look. I know Greater Berks is doing their Panera fundraiser at the end of July. All sorts of places do it. So check around. If there's a place you like in your area, go check it out, especially if you have a big following of friends and family in the area. It makes it easy to do. And that's all I have for Keystone. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, David. Let's see. Is there anybody on from Happy Valley? No. Is Connie here? No. Is Tim McCarthy here? No. Okay. Did Pam Bequero join us?
This is Jason. I could give an update on Capitol, but I wasn't in the last meeting because it was when David came over and we were setting up the printer and getting me on the bank account and everything. So I wish if I was in it, I would give an update, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what the latest is.
No worries, Jason. No worries. David, do you want to? I know you're doing a lot of talking tonight. Do you want to give an update on the spring fling?
Yes, I would be happy to do that. We had the Spring Fling, the Pennsylvania Association of Blind Merchants had a fundraiser and blind vendor showcase at the Best Western Premiere in Harrisburg on May 17th. And we had about 10 vendors, blind vendors from Kevin Cross and his Essential Cane Keeper. And we will be giving one of those away either on
I got one
Federation
of those
Focus.
actually.
We're going to give one away on Federation Focus or White Canes Connect. We're not quite sure when, but I did get one of those. Joy was there with all of her delicious baked goods, and the key lime pie I really, really liked. Let's see what else was there. Rachel Hudson was there showing off some jewelry and selling jewelry, and she's probably going to have an event at our state convention with jewelry making. We'll be talking with her. Lynn and I will be talking with her after National and getting that all situated. But that looks to be like a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of Michelle was there, Marva was there selling some things, and I did buy something from Marva, and James Robinson was there. Bought some spices from him. He has homemade spices that he dehydrates the different items in the spice before grinding them up. Those are really good. I don't remember the one that I liked best. I want to say it was like a lemon jalapeno spice. Who else was there? Pam had some of her coffee there, which is, I think it's called Blind Sunshine, I think was the name. It's hard to remember when you can't see what the what the sign says. Who else was there? I mentioned Michelle. I think that was about it. I know there was another Sadie McFarland was there with New York Life, and it was incredible what she did. She was doing balloon animals. So folks would be interested and wander over to her table, and then she was talking to them about different types of insurance and things like that. And the kids really loved that. There were quite a few kids there. So it wasn't as successful as our holiday party, but we did have some great auctions. And I think we took in just short of $2,500 from the auctions and the ticket sales and things like that. So again, it was a great time. The food was good, and looking forward to our state convention there because of the way the hotel is and the way it's set up. So it should be a fun time in November at the Best Western Premiere.
Awesome. So with National Convention being in July, we will not have a coffee with the president in the month of July. We will return to coffee with the president in August, which I would believe will be Wednesday, August the 6th. Somebody can check me on that if they want. At 7:30, same bad time, same bad channel, as they said back in the old days. Is the 6th right?
Hang on a sec.
Say again.
You are correct.
I am correct.
Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, I was gonna check, but he got it.
Okay, so if there's nothing else for the group, I want to thank.
Actually, Lynn, this is Preston. I got one more thing about our Jigsaw at Large chapter.
Yes.
I do want to remind people, especially if you're new on the meeting, if you don't have a local chapter near you, you're definitely welcome to check us out. We meet every first Saturday of the month, minus July, at 10 a.m. on our NFB of PA Zoom. You can get the link from this week's Federation Focus, and we update about what's going on in the affiliate. We play the presidential release, and we do a roundtable of what's going on our personal journey and stuff like that, and much more. So feel free and come on. Usually the meetings last no more than an hour, and then if you miss anything, I send the minutes out afterward. I tend to do it
Immediately afterward.
Yeah, I tend to take care of it out of the way. That way I can go about our day. So have at it.
And Preston, when is your next meeting?
Oh, this Saturday, the 7th.
The 7th. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. At 10 a.m.
Yep.
Okay. And for those of you who've listened to Federation Focus, the link for the Jigsaw meeting is there. And I believe the link should also be on the calendar on the website for you to join there as well. Hopefully they all work. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know that that has made it to the new site yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
I'll send out a reminder tomorrow with it with the link for that, because that is something that's easy for everyone to join, whether they're in a chapter or they're somewhere in the middle of nowhere, close to a chapter. So a nice easy thing, just like this event is here that we do every month. But I'll send it out to all the listservs tomorrow.
okay.
Yep. It's definitely a good resource. So that's all I got.
Okay, well, thank you, Preston. So everybody remember,
Yep.
if you want raffle tickets, please send your email to David to get some
Yep.
raffle tickets.
I actually got mine tonight in the mail in from Jim, so we are good to go.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of your June. If you're coming to National, I look forward to seeing you there. We will have, like I said, a Zoom call for those attending National prior to my leaving for National, which is going to be on July 4th. And that's what we have. So thank you so much, everyone. And if you're not coming to National, look forward to speaking with you on August the 6th at 7:30. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening.
Alrighty. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
See y'all.
Good night.